It's the end of season 13 and we are potentially in for a technical treble. The league is going well. We've wrapped up the Liechtenstein Cup and potentially we could be in a European final. Did we make it? Let's see. Roll that title. In terms of our league fixtures, we have gone on a run from January to April, not being beaten in the Super League. Started it off with a 0-0 draw away to Luzern, then followed that up with a win at St. Gallen 3-1. And then February was a run of form which was pretty crazy in my opinion. Servette were beaten at home 4-2. We beat Aru and Zurich away respectively. And then to finish it all off, Lugano were beaten 3-1 at home on the final game of February. March was a little bit different. Funnily enough, we got draws against Thun and Yerevan, but we beat Young Boys and Basel at home. And then to finish it off in April, we beat Jamax 4-3, a draw against Luzern again, and then at home to St. Gallen, our local rivals, we beat them 4-0. So it was a pretty incredible run, which led us to being top of the group, and I'm just going to show you the league table in a moment, but that put us in a good stead for the Super League Championship group. Here's how the table looks after 32 games gone for Vaduz. We're currently sitting top of the Swiss Super League, 71 points. We are 4 points clear of Basel with a game in hand. Our game today is against St. Gallen, and the league will split into the two sections. It's likely going to be ourselves, Basel, Young Boys, Luzern, Thun and Zurich, Servette, Lugano, St. Gallen, Yerevan, Jamax, and Aru are going to be in the bottom half. Just in terms of some minor incomings and goings, we made a couple of signings in the January transfer window, but nothing too serious off the back of the last episode. So I believe you already saw Mickey Rose, and I may have mentioned Mika Koppadal, who we signed from. It was a free actually. He was from a Norwegian club. But unfortunately, we couldn't get him out on loan because he's already played for 2 Norwegian clubs, so he's unhappy at the moment. And we'll deal with that next season. We loaned Kawe, a Portuguese winger, out to one of our Liechtenstein affiliates, Eschen Mauren, but we purchased him for 160k from Marfa in Portugal. And then we signed a couple of Balkan players, so Ivan Klaric, who I really like the look of, 17 years old, hopefully can bed into the young side of the team, the under-18s and the under-19s, and maybe we can get him as a Liechtenstein national in the future, but who knows, with him being that good and already being capped at under-18 level for Croatia. Let's see how he develops and go from there. And then also we brought in Miroslav Manjalovic. We signed him from Novi Pasar for about 3.5k, another probably prospect for the future. That's the reason why I'm signing those particular players in the end. And the only real departure was a young guy who we bought from PSG, Didier Huguet. He's gone to Ingolstadt for about 66k. We also loaned out one of our youngsters to Aru, Benedict Korb, developing quite nicely. So nothing to really scream home about in terms of transfers. I think the main transfers that are going to happen are the ones that are incoming on a free, and I think as it's been so busy this season with transfers out and transfers in, I think it's going to be the exact same next season when it comes to transfers. We may have to spend big. Here's how the league looks after the split. There's a couple of games that have been played. Luzern and Thun have played a match since the Liechtenstein Cup final. So the 5 games remaining in the championship group have been drawn. We play Young Boys away first, Thun and Zurich at home, and then 2 tough away tests to Basel and Luzern. It's going to be a very interesting end to the Super League Championship group. Let's see how we do. In the first game of the Super League Championship group, we got a 1-1 draw away to Young Boys. Daniel Maximiano getting a goal in the 64th minute. Mika Schrotter scoring for Young Boys in the 42nd minute, just before half time. A frustrating draw, especially since we've walked Young Boys off the park this season in a couple of games. So frustrating that we could only get 1 point. Then to follow up that Young Boys match, we got a 2-2 draw at home, and I was resting players for our European games in this match, and it did cost us. We were 1-0 up thanks to Mattia Milone, our Italian winger, but Thun came back in the second half, goals from Kari. Benjamin Kaiser got his first goal, I believe, for Vaduz, which was really nice, but that was then followed up by an equaliser from Salgaro. Based off the stats in this game, they probably deserved the draw in the end, but it was a frustrating match because if we had won that game, that would have put us in a commanding position for the Super League title. We did beat Zurich at home. Unfortunately, we went 1-0 down to Zurich thanks to a goal from Tasker, but Simon Beale and Maximiano in the second half secured a valuable 3 points, which put us in a good position for the championship group stage. Unfortunately, we had a tough match against Basel next. We started really well in Basel after they missed the penalty in the 2nd minute. Marcus Polo with a lovely goal there from the assist with Traore. And then in the second half, Simon Beale assisted Maximiano to make it 2-0, and things were looking really comfortable. However, Basel did not want to let us have this easily, and unfortunately, Dova equalised in the 53rd minute. Then another goal from the left-hand side, defensive mistakes all round here. Dova again making it 2-2. And then it was not a good second half. Sommer with a run down the right-hand side here. It's deflected and Rexhage makes it 3-2. We were trying our best to get back into this match, but unfortunately Tapanki made it 4-2, and this really dented our title aspirations for the season. It all came down to this, an away tie against Luzern. If we were to win, we would secure first place in the Swiss Super League, with the title going to Young Boys, but it would mean that we would finish first in the Swiss Super League for the first time. It was going to be a tough test against our bogey team. Let's see how we did. From Luzern's first attack, they got a really easy goal. This was well worked from Luzern. We couldn't get the ball off them, unfortunately. Stankovic plays a ball to Emi, who plays it into Sedanovic. And then a low ball in, and Dion Kakoli gets the goal in the 2nd minute of the first half. We had a lot to do. We still would have been top of the league at this point, with Young Boys drawing against Basel. We needed Basel to do us a favour, and we needed to get 2 goals pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Young Boys got a goal in the 4th minute, and the pressure was piling on us. We really needed those 2 goals to ensure that we finished first in the league. We did have a chance in the 20th minute thanks to a Lazarus header, but the Luzern goalkeeper made a great save. Going into the break at half time, it was 1-0 to Luzern and 1-0 to Young Boys, so we had everything still to play for. In the 50th minute, from a corner, there was a potential penalty incident, and the referee took a look from VAR. He did ultimately give a penalty to Luzern, and we were looking very, very vulnerable here. Luckily, Stankovic missed the penalty, Cilia with a great save. We were pushing really hard in the 70th minute, and Simon Beale got a chance in the 73rd minute. Unfortunately, he was offside for ruling this one out, and things weren't looking good getting into the last 15 minutes of the game. There was still a chance at 86 minutes for us to get into first place. We just needed 2 goals, as Young Boys were only winning 1-0. But getting a stoppage time, it was looking increasingly unlikely. We had one last chance and we needed Basel to do us a favour. Unfortunately, we just could not apply the pressure enough to break Luzern down. A nice chance here from Alabe to Zaquini and Lampert, but it goes over the bar. That would have been a massive draw for us if Basel had got a point. And unfortunately, at full time, we lost to Luzern, conceding the title to Young Boys. Luzern again, our bogey team, causing problems for us in the many seasons that I've been managing Vaduz. This is the closest we've come to winning the title, even though technically we wouldn't win it. We came 1 point behind Young Boys, and to be honest, Young Boys do not deserve it. It's a really frustrating way to end the league season, but we will go again next year, and hopefully next year we can go one better. It was another comfortable victory in the final of the Liechtenstein Cup. Goals from Malone, Kaiser, and Silla securing another Liechtenstein Cup for us, and we are guaranteed the Europa Conference League next season. This is the intake for the 2035-36 season. There isn't anybody in particular who is outstanding from this intake. Another poor intake where we may need to have a look at Ian Taylor's position as a head of youth development, but we will see going down the line. The only one that in particular is a standout is Kevin Gartner, who is a centre back, 6'2", but is unambitious. The remaining players aren't particularly any good. So if you do want to see any of those, please let us know in the comments and I can provide a screenshot. But let's see how we got on in Europe. First off, it was a trip to Romania against Farul Constantana, and this was a comfortable victory in the end. Noah Lampert bagging a hat-trick, Maximiano with a goal in the 31st minute, and Simon Beale to wrap it all off. And you can see from the stats that we thoroughly deserved this match. We took a 5-0 victory away to Vaduz. That was then followed up with a 3-1 victory at home. Goals from Malone, Beale, and Turacanu. Mania getting the consolation goal for Farrell, making it 8-1 on aggregate. Then Roma came to town for the second time this season, and we got the better of them this time. Goals from Maximiano and Teitman. That goal from Teitman was extremely crucial because I felt going to Rome with only a 1-0 victory on aggregate was going to be a tough game to follow up with. Did we make it through though? Yes, we did. We just got by in this match thanks to a defensive performance from ourselves, especially Celia in goal, keeping us alive. Roma got a goal in the 41st minute thanks to a goal from Camini, but you can see from the shots and how many they had on target, they probably deserved to win this game 3-0, but those 2 goals at home to Roma really helped us, and it got us through to the quarterfinal of the Europa Conference League. We took a trip to Edinburgh in April, and this was a tough game for us against a good Hibs team. They started off really well with a goal from Fawkes, but we did equalise in the 21st minute thanks to a goal from Maximiano, Simon Beale as well. Really good combination there. Unfortunately, in the second half, they put on a lot of pressure and they did get the second goal. A mistake from Cilia there to allow Bevan to secure a 2-1 advantage there. But Maximiano switched out to the right and Simon Beale made it 2-2 in the 84th minute. And we thought we were taking a draw back to Vaduz, but Hibs had another idea with Watson and a lovely ball into Nickel. No defending whatsoever there from us. So a tough match awaits us in Vaduz. We started well though at home with a goal from Maximiano, a lovely tippy-tappy play there in the 9th minute. And then we followed that up with a corner goal from Kovacevic, making it 2-0. To round it off in the second half, a nice ball in from Simon Beale here, thanks to an Alobe assist. And we secured passage to the semi-final of the Europa Conference League, where we will await Gothenburg. So we went to Sweden for the semi-final, and they started really well with a goal from Fosu in the 2nd minute. I thought we were in trouble here, but luckily Sebastian plays a nice ball to Teitman, who sets up Maximiano brilliantly there in the 35th minute. And in the second half, we allowed our dominance to take effect of the match with a great goal from Teitman. Poor goalkeeping there, and we took a 2-1 aggregate lead back to Vaduz, where we put on the home pressure again. It was a 3-0 victory thanks to goals from Teitman. Just assist here from Dauria and Maximiano to give Marcus Paulo a goal in the 90th minute. And then to round it all up, Alobe plays a ball into Doria, who plays it into Akirek, and we secure a victory and another Conference League final with a 3-0 victory against Gothenburg. So, did we get Liverpool or did we get Hajduk Split in the final? Here we are after the defeat to Luzern and us conceding the title to Young Boys. We find ourselves against one of the biggest teams in Europe, Liverpool, in the Conference League final. Also, something really interesting, if I just take us away from the European final for a second, we are potentially going to be in the Champions League yet again. So us making the final, and the fact that teams below Liechtenstein, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, haven't done very well, and the fact that England is in the final for the Champions League, the Conference League, and the Europa League, it looks really good that we potentially could get into the Champions League. I'll just go back and show you how things are looking with regards to the other European leagues. So we are obviously playing Liverpool, but if you look at the Europa League, Man City's beat Leipzig, so they wouldn't get the points for Germany. And then the only other one is my beloved Newcastle are playing Real Madrid in the final. So I don't know if Real Madrid winning would tip the scales. I don't know how many points you get for winning the Champions League compared to winning a Europa or a Conference League. But at the moment, if the worst were to happen where we wouldn't win this game, we are very much the underdogs in this game. It looks like we potentially could get the Champions League. Let me show you how the lineup is looking, and we'll get into this huge game against Liverpool. This is the lineup that we're going to go with for the final against Liverpool here. It's the strongest lineup I think we can basically put out. So it's Cilia in goal, followed by Alabe, Kovacevic, or Kovacevic, Kaminski is his partner with Traore. Zakowini is in there because unfortunately, Alejandro is injured. The remaining players are unregistered, just because I decided to take a holiday with the last registration rules, so those players are out there. It's Teitman and Sebastian who are in midfield. They've been our midfielders for the entire season, pretty much, in front of Alejandro. And then it's Silla, Paulo as the wingers. Silla just getting ahead of Simon Beale. And Maximiano, our trusted striker. Pretty much the standard bench. The only exceptions being Frederick Kabamba and Danny, who is in from the reserve team. I'm not very confident going into this match against Liverpool, but we're going to give it our best shot to win our second Conference League. It would be nuts to beat Liverpool in this match, but Liverpool's team are insanely very good. So we're going to have to be at our very best to have a chance of getting past them today. Let's get into this huge match in Belgium at the Anderlecht Stadium against Liverpool. Here goes nothing against Liverpool. Liverpool are going to be playing in their green and white shirts. It's a 4-2-3-1. The only player that can recognise is Camavinga. We are going with our trusted 4-3-3 formation that we've used for a long time now. It does look like there's a lot of red shirts, but I suspect they may be Liverpool fans. But it looks like a sellout in Belgium in the Anderlecht Stadium. So let's see how we get on against one of the biggest teams in the world. Wish us all the best. Looks like the first highlighter was Taitman on the ball here. Silla. Alabe, Batasilla. Sakawini. Passing the ball quite around nicely here, but we've lost it out with Gibbs. Liverpool on the counter here, which is worrying. Gibbs again, that's a good ball in, but Kaminsky deals with it. Can Sebastian get it again? Martin, Dean Martin, 19th goal of the season, and it's a great start. And it looks like all our fans are behind our goal, which at least is comforting. We didn't have any fans in the Lyon game a couple of years ago, but yeah, 4 defenders there, poor defending. I think goalkeeper can potentially do better there, but we are 1-0 down in the final. Liverpool got thrown here. We're already on the back foot. Kaminsky's dealt with that well, but still can't hold on to the ball. Is that another goal for Dean Martin? I thought he was offside there, but not looking good for us. I thought he's straight offside, but I've got a feeling, yeah. I think the counter fluid's not working, so I'm going to switch us up to the direct roll a bit. I don't think Stilla's having the greatest of games. We're going to have a momentous comeback here. Liverpool have scored with their first 2 shots on target. We haven't really done anything. I think we gave them a bit too much respect. I mean, they are the best team in the competition by a country mile. Liverpool shouldn't be in this competition, but it is what it is. I was hoping somebody else was potentially going to knock them out, but, you know, we're not having any possession, so I've decided that we go to the more direct route. But so far, things aren't looking particularly great for us in this final. If you get a goal before half time, free kick to Liverpool here. Good save from Cilia. It's a corner to Liverpool. I think I might make some changes at half time because we are struggling really badly here. Yeah, I think some changes are in order. A lot of players anxious, worried. I mean, Zaccarini there just instantly highlights to me that I need to bring on Danny. I know that's a huge risk for somebody like that. I think Silla maybe switched to an inside forward attack role. Kovacevic's not having a great game yet again. Traore is not having a great game. So maybe Guarini for a change. I think I'm going to bring on Lazarus, to be fair. He probably should have been starting the game because Kovacevic's had some poor matches. But I think we just stay on this cautious mentality because we're just getting absolutely blitzed by Liverpool here. We've regained the ball here quite nicely. Can we do anything with it? Liverpool just closed we're down so well. Sebastian, lovely ball into Taitman. Liverpool score those. it just shows you what steps we need to take to get to being a Champions League team consistently. I thought that was free. I don't know how that wasn't free from him. He is absolutely insane, Dean Martin. But, I mean, we're in the game. Do you know what I'm going to say as well? I mean, we already are out of possession. We're just getting stuck in, but I'm just going to try that prevent goalkeeper distribution. I am going to take Silla off because he's not having a good game. I'm going to take a chance and put Dioria up front and just say, like, look, you're meant to be this wonder kid. Prove it to me. Danny with the ball here. Tideman, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got no support. 3-0. I think that's game over, unfortunately, folks. I'm just going to try and change it around advanced playmaker support. I mean, yeah, that's definitely going in no matter what. Just a bit of a deflation, unfortunately. I didn't think we'd have much of a chance, but I didn't think we'd play like this. I'm just going to bring Simon Beale on for Maximiano because he hasn't had a good game at all. See if that makes a difference in 15 minutes. I doubt it will, but 5 shots on, 1 on target. They've had 12 and 8. It just shows you how much of a team they are compared to us. I'd like to keep it at 3-0, but nah, it's not been our day, unfortunately. Unlike the Lyon final, Liverpool have won it comfortably. Fair play. Steve Cooper winning the trophy for Liverpool as well. Nah, they just outplayed us from start to finish. So it just shows you what we need to do to get to that level. Just a bit frustrating how I didn't put up any sort of fight at all. But I mean, look at the XG and how many shots we've had compared to them. They're just miles better. So it's the Liechtenstein Cup again. I'm just going to say I'm disappointed that you couldn't win the trophy, lads. It is what it is. We are the runners up. Biggest overachievers with the team that we beat. But yeah, that should, even though we've been defeated, that should hopefully see us over the line. I'm interested to see what happens when Newcastle plays Real Madrid. So let's see that, and then I'll get back to you once that's been done. Something to at least cheer me up is my team, Newcastle, have won their first Champions League in 2036 against Real Madrid in Baku, of all places. I find it mad that you've got a European final there. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the coefficients place. And yes, we will get Champions League football. So it's not the end of the world that we didn't beat Liverpool in the final. But gonna have to contend with playing in the Champions League next year, and it's gonna be another tough one. So at least we've got Champions League football to look forward to next year. There are a few players that have decided to throw a tantrum at the end of the season. So Kovacevic is one. Apparently, he didn't feel that the target rating I had for the training was good enough to get him a better squad role. I really don't understand that. And as well, Sebastian has decided to be unhappy because he wants what was it that came through my inbox? Unhappy that promise of increased playing time befitting a regular starter has not been enacted. The guy's played 41 games this season. He is one of our hot prospects, don't get me wrong, and we only paid 4.1 million for him. But I suspect this has come from all the active interest that is in him, but there is no way, unless that contract expiry gets activated, that he is leaving the football club. But yeah, maybe I need to start looking less at the prospects and more with regards to maybe some quality players next season. Who knows? There's definitely going to be a shake-up with certain players. So look out for that next season. But with regards to the Champions League, I will be doing a lot more Champions League based videos for next season, and hopefully we can have a better spell in the Champions League than we did last year, where we didn't get any points whatsoever last year. So yeah, fingers crossed. So there you go, folks. We have missed out on the league and the Conference League, but a silver lining is that we are in the Champions League. I think next year I'm seriously gonna just make sure we try and wrap up the Super League before that gets to that 5-game period, because we seem to just capitulate against certain teams. Zurich and Luzern primarily. Luzern, I don't know why they're our bulky team, but it's just deemed like that they are. And yeah, we just have to go again. Fingers crossed we can get some easier teams, because it wasn't an easy ride last time. But if you have enjoyed the video and the series so far, don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you for the next Liechtenstein Challenge video soon. Take it easy, stay safe, bye everybody.